Hello, welcome back to Blenderian LIVENODING. In this episode, I want to share with you the breakdown of this kind of cookie or biscuit or waffle with a bit of letter there. It's I think it's probably some kind of alien language. It's probably, yeah, it's a Chinese Mandarin, I think. It's something that's tweeted by Cyber Viking himself. I think it's some kind of poem about trees that's kind of roasting seeds because the seed is growing too slow. I don't know, something like that. But anyway, if you can guess it, it's very simple. This is basically like a cylinder that's been boolean by letters. Okay, so geometry nodes actually able to do that. The node setup itself, it's pretty simple. Here, so I started with a cylinder and transform it into place, subdivide it, and then I have this voronoi texture to modify the shape of the cylinder. And then it's got boolean. Okay, mesh boolean, just difference, and it's got boolean by this lettering. So the lettering is quite complex. I'm actually using Japanese font on this, so it's become like a kanji lettering. The text itself is actually like a Mandarin. So this is all the text, the poem, with the line break joined together as a single string, pass it into string to curves. So we need to use realized instances. This is for the extrusion of the font itself, and using curve the mesh, we actually get a result. And in order to do this really fast, I mean, things can get really slow with complex things like this, but this is how I work with text and boolean. Instead of using mesh boolean, I just join the geometry. Okay, so that's the secret. And then you make arrangement as needed, so you can still work really fast. For example, I can change the radius of the cookie. So this font can be changed into anything. I think shades mode. Okay, subdivisions as the voronoi itself. You can play around with the shape. You can add randomness or less random. So for the text itself, okay, let's take a look closer. So this is some kind of curve line extrusion, right? So the font itself is kind of going inside a little bit, and we have the depth of the text to control our waffle. Let's go back to solid mode. So yeah, the text itself here, I usually just copy paste it into text and then I convert it into font. So certain font will give you certain different result. If I use Ian Hubert, HUBERFISH, Mr. Dodo Bird font, we can have something that's kind of like more like an alien font. Let's actually give it a try. So this is a HUBERFISH, some kind of alien. Font from space. So it's some kind of gibberish there with all different font space, fonts, character spacing and line spacing. So we have something completely different now. This font have a bit of variations. I think the one that's really can work is this thickness, the one that's really thick like this. Typeface. So just make something like this. And I just gonna transform it so it's it's gonna fit the cookies. So we have like a secret language embedded into these cookies. I think that's pretty neat. And we gotta ensure this is gonna work for our Boolean. Okay, so this from this language we switch, we get that, and everything is gonna be handled. So this is a way to fake extrusions. We're actually using a sweep operations. Plug everything. Hopefully the Boolean can handle it. Sometimes it fails, but you just gotta test it out. This is probably gonna work. And then you just use, oh, it's probably failing. Sometimes it fails. I wonder if it's one of these hole tolerant or self intersections, or just the font itself need to be properly inverted, maybe. But you get the idea. It's I always liked like a 3D font or even like a 2D font because it's already like well designed by someone out there, and you just simply use like all this random text and then you get like something like the matrix, you know, like some kind of design. I wonder why. I wonder why it's failing. Maybe it's too deep. Oh well, in this case, I'm just gonna extrude it. Make it bigger. Maybe even transform it. Let's see if this one actually works. So Boolean process can be pretty slow. That's why I'm using the join geometry. Seems like it created something over there, but still kind of failing. Maybe without the voronoi it would work. Let's check it out. Cylinder transform, join geometry, subdivide mesh. Let's try subdivide 4 times. And let's see if this actually works. Okay, it's probably, it failed because of this font kind of goes over. Let's increase the radius. Kind of heavy booleans. Okay, still failing. So maybe there's something wrong with the font itself. So we need to be aware of this. Maybe use a different type of HUBERFISH font. Okay, still failing. So I think I will, oh yeah, actually it goes over, that's why maybe I need to be careful there. Let's make it smaller. Okay, this might fail again, but take a look anyway. Probably another way to do this instead of using Boolean is to use some kind of point volume, and from point volume we just gonna do a Boolean. Yeah, I think it's just doesn't like it somehow. So I guess I'm gonna take a look and maybe do something about this. But the idea is really, let's go back to the start. Similar to this, right? We are using font, and then we use curve, and then just bevel the curve. So we end up with this kind of text that we can change, and then we can use this to do the Boolean. Okay, this is the extrusion, and I'm using point to volume, volume to mesh, and this is probably going to be easier Boolean for Blender. Yeah, some kind of lettering like that. If we use Ian Hubert font, we have some kind of alien language that we can play around with. Yeah, so that's basically the idea here. So yeah, some kind of alien biscuit. Give it a try yourself anyway. Just try different font and then see if it can do the Boolean, and then you're gonna end up with the cookies. But the Boolean operation is, again, it's slow, and with some luck you can get a proper cut. And yeah, you can use all kind of noise to do the displacement for the cookies, voronoi or other noise, just simply to generate interesting pattern for these cookies or for this waffle. Alright, so thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.